have no fear. I have heard your cries, I have heard your pleas, and the bookshelf tour is here. That's right, something that people have and also have been asking for, a bookshelf tour, which, yeah, I can do that. So that's what we're gonna do. In this video, I'm just gonna take you through a tour of my big bookshelf and the other various bookshelves around my house. But the big kahuna is gonna be this guy, which is probably where I'm gonna film a lot of the videos for this channel. Some things I will not be going over in this video: my collection of rare and vintage books, most of them at least, and that's just because I have them in a separate glass cabinet in the living room, and it's a whole thing to pull them out and go through them, so if y'all want a separate video on that, I might do that for a separate video. That could be fun. I will also not be going over my current reads in this video because they're not really on my shelves. They're more so scattered around my house in haphazard piles. And number 3, that was 4. And number 3, I will not be going over the tote of books that I have, which you may have seen in some of my videos on my other channel, if you watch my other channel, Pressplaychey. I will not be going over that, because that tote has books that I am using for videos, and to show you them would be a spoiler. I also don't want anyone to steal my ideas. I'm gonna go over all the reads, ignore this, ignore the chaos. Do not look at the man behind the curtain. Without further ado, let's get started. This is where we're gonna start. This is my big kahuna. This is my white whale. This is her. This is she. It's as good a place to start as any. This is the first of my bottom shelves on the left side. This whole section, these 2 shelves, used to be my just nonfiction. But I recently put all my classics over here too, because I needed these shelves. This top shelf right here is bigger than the bottom 2. They're all different sizes. So I had to utilize the top shelf on the other side for my bigger books, which didn't fit anywhere else. So I had to combine my nonfiction and classics over here. But I think this is mostly just my nonfiction section. So let's go through these first and foremost. And I have read all of these that you're going to see on this top shelf, except for one at the very end. There's too much stuff in my room. Excuse me, Mr. Typewriter. First, we have Jefferson and Hamilton, The Rivalry That Forged the Nation. The Art of Power, John Meacham. Directorate S, Jack Sparrow. Left of Boom, How a Young CIA Case Officer Penetrated the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. American Kingpin, The Epic Hunt for the Criminal Mastermind Behind the Silk Road. Murphy's Law. Fun fact, this is one of my friends / mentors that I've had since I was a teenager looking to get into journalism and looking to get into the international politics governmental sphere. He's a really good dude. This is a really good book. He also writes really good fiction novels, which I believe I have one of on my bottom shelf over there. Jack's awesome. Jack would never be watching this video, but if you do, hi Jack. Love you. Crying in H-Mart. I don't know why my voice lilted up there. SOG, The Secret Wars of America's Commandos in Vietnam. The Night of the Gun. A reporter investigates the darkest story of his life. His own. I read this off of a list of books to choose from when I went to a journalism conference back in early high school. The Heart and the Fist, The Education of a Humanitarian, The Making of a Navy SEAL. Low Anthropology. How I found out about this book was I actually ran sound for the local book event they had for it, and fun fact, me and this author struck up a conversation. I still need to send him an email. Talk about small world. He also went to Georgetown, was also a history student, and also did his theses and major studies about music. So we have a lot to talk about. He was a really nice guy. Really interesting read. Little short read. It is spiritually centered, but you don't have to be spiritual to read this. What I mean by that is that he applies lessons for those who are spiritual and then reframes them for people who are not. Girl Wash Your Face. The Creative Act, Rick Rubin. Though I was not crazy about this book, it does hold a special place in my heart because I got it on my trip to Santa Monica last year in March. It's a good memento. Relentless Strike, The Secret History of Joint Special Operations Command. Service, A Navy SEAL at War. Can you tell what I wanted my career to be when I was younger? Crow Planet, Essential Wisdom from the Urban Wilderness. Rogue Heroes, The History of the SAS, Britain's secret special forces unit that sabotaged the Nazis and changed the nature of war. This book, I am so sad, it got water damaged, but it's still readable. It's still accessible, but I'm very sad about it. George Washington's Secret Six, The Spy Ring That Saved the American Revolution. The Surrender Theory. This is a book of poems by Caitlin Conlon. I got this recommendation from an Allison Pages vlog, and it was a 10 out of 10. I freaking devoured this. I love this thing. I'm always looking for more poetry recs, by the way. If anyone ever wants to recommend me poetry, please send it my way. Dave Grohl, The Storyteller. I absolutely love this, and I absolutely love the Foo Fighters, but ever since the whole thing about his secret daughter, he has been turned away in shame. And plus, I think it's more fun to look at my chaotic annotations anyway, my chaotic tabs. This was before I got actual tabs, so I was just using the tabs that I have, which you can use these, but I don't like using them personally for books like this now because they're not transparent, so I can't see through them. I still do use them though for more academic stuff. I'm not gonna waste tabs. Makers of, I'm already trying to tell you this because I'm so freaking excited about it. Makers of Modern Strategy, From Machiavelli to the Nuclear Age. This was my crowning achievement of my 10 pages a day challenge last year. I bought this back when I was in college just because I was interested in it. It was not a textbook. It was just something that I was like, that looks interesting. And I finally got around to reading all of it. This is a popcorn box from the Adult Swim On the Green tour. I went to this my freshman year of college with my friend Ren, and they just set up like a big screen on the lawn in Washington, D.C., and just showed a bunch of adult film shows, like episodes and little short films and stuff. It was really fun. And so I kept the popcorn box, and now I just use it to hold all my bookmarks. All my little bookmarks. This is my little bunny guy. I've had him for years, and years ago I painted his eyes red with a marker and his ears pink because I wanted him to look like Bunnicula. And I also use him to hold bookmarks on occasion or pens. But yeah, he just also kind of sits on my bookshelf and guards it. The Man in the High Castle. And then this is the only book that I have not yet read on this shelf. Backy. You know what it is. Little quick tour of this mini section here. Not much too interesting right here. I do have this framed photo I got from a thrift store, which is of a tombstone that says, "Here lies good old Fred. A great big rock fell on his head. Rest in peace." And I just think that that's one of the funniest things in the world. So, and it hides my little miscellaneous junk here, which I guess I'll go over a little bit with you. This is just a Craft International stick that I have. A little slinky. This is just a box of trinkets. So, Patrick, a little ball thing that I found in my uncle's stuff. I don't know. Don't ask. A little rose made out of bread dough that my cousin sent me from prison. Some guitar picks, some little animals, an eraser, more tabs, fortune cookie stuff. You know, sentimental mementos, but also that I need to find a better home for. But for now, they live here. And it also just hides that. Down here, I have not yet had anything that has a permanent home yet, but we have the Very Worried Walrus, which he is just me, for real. We got some records, so we got do y'all want to see these records? You actually want to see them? Okay, let me show you these first. I got Scooby-Doo, a Stan Scooby-Doo, which I got at a Renaissance fair, which I love him. We got Hamilton's Papers, I'm not dragging those out, and then we got Legend of Zelda Hyrule Historia. We got 21 Pilots, Scaled and Icy. Then we have not one, not two, not three, but 4 copies of Beartooth's The Surface. We got Bad Omens, the debut self-titled album. Rivals, Sad Looks Pretty on Me, with some of the signatures. And then this is one of my prized possessions that I own of any record, The Clash London Calling, but this is a first edition pressing. First edition from like 1978. Pressing. I checked the runoff numbers. I bought this at a thrift store, and I checked the runoff numbers. It is a first edition pressing, so this is my holy grail. I love this more than I will ever love a firstborn child. Alright, I don't have a tripod that goes this low, so this is going to be interesting. This is my little dinosaur guy who falls apart with the slightest touch, and if you watch, he's holding up the rest of my books, because I have this little divider here, see? So he's doing a very good job. He's very important. He's actually very important to the structural integrity of this entire bookshelf. But for now, he must come downtown to Funky Town. Alright, come here, you. 13 Hours, the inside account of what really happened in Benghazi. Leonardo da Vinci, The Mind of the Renaissance. Okay, I will also preface this, I have not read all these. I've read most of these. I have not read all of these. This is one that I have not read, which is a shame, because honestly, the text is super tiny, but it's not that big of a book, and it's full of pictures. So I need to read it very soon. Shame on me. The Unwomanly Face of War, which I have obviously read this, and I highly recommend it. Read it with a lovingly critical eye, as you should any historical study or any biography, memoir type of thing like that. But very, very interesting read. Very, very good read. Founding Brothers, The Revolutionary Generation. Revolutionary Summer, The Birth of American Independence. Yeah, you know, people have hyperfixation periods on things like the Egyptians or things like that. Mine are the American Revolution, the Renaissance in Florence specifically, and anything having to do with, like, samurai. Those are my three. I don't have the big three that a lot of people have. I wasn't ever an Egyptian kid or, like, a Roman kid. I'm, like, World War II, Renaissance specifically in Florence, anything samurai, and American Revolution. That's, like, my thing. And also Vietnam. But I think Vietnam fascinates me for the fact that it was, like, the first war, like, heavily on film, like, heavy media-based. I think that's my fascination with it. Anyway, some Chey lore you didn't ask for. The Society of Renaissance Florence. You're going to see a recurring theme here. This one's really cool because I bought this secondhand, but look at all the annotations that people have made in this one. I don't know if it's the same person that read it or multiple people. I have not yet read it, though, so I'll be looking forward to arguing with them. Duel with the Devil, the true story of how Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr teamed up to take on America's first sensational murder mystery. Highly, highly recommend this. This is such a fascinating read into, like, even if you're not into the American Revolution, this is such a fascinating read. Because I'm like, what do you mean they teamed up to take down, like, a murder suspect? What do you mean? It's so fascinating. And it's a relatively quick read, too. Like, it's very accessible. Think about, like, this is the notes, like, these are all the notes, right? And then this is, like, the actual book. It's very, very accessible. Very good. Highly recommend. I love this book. Actually, I should probably reread it. The Civilization of the Renaissance in Italy, the illustrated edition. But also, look at this cover. Isn't this gorgeous? This needs to be another one of my 10 pages a day reads, I think. Would y'all like a history vlog? Would y'all like a vlog of just me reading my history books that I've been neglecting for like 10 years? Well, actually more than 10 years, let's be honest. The Italian Renaissance. Again, just another little guy that I need to read. So if y'all want a Italian Renaissance vlog, let me know, because I got the goods. Believe me. I got the goods. The Renaissance. The only two words that I just saw from flipping through this were Leonardo's death. Don't talk to me about Leonardo da Vinci. I get very emotional. Fearless, the undaunted courage and ultimate sacrifice of Navy SEAL Team 6 operator Adam Brown. Something that may shock and discredit you. Read this one, and I've read this one. This is a book of essays that I loved. I found it at Ollie's for like $1 or so, and I really liked it. I didn't go into it expecting anything. I was gonna say it's not what I expected, but I didn't really expect anything because I've never heard of this author. I ended up liking it. It was very different from what I actually read, or what I usually read, I should say, because I don't usually read books of essays, but I'm open to it because they can always teach you something. I'm glad I picked it up. I'm glad I took a chance on it and picked it up. Plus this cover, like, come on. Lafayette and the Somewhat United States. This is one of my very first history books that I picked up regarding the Revolution, I think. And it's so funny because I always forget if I've actually read it, and then I flip through and I see lines and I'm like, yes, Chey, we have, but maybe I guess I just need to reread. Oh, wow. Emperors of the Deep. Sharks, the ocean's most mysterious, most understood, and most important guardians. This is an amazing book. If you love sharks, you need to read this book. This book taught me things that I still think about daily. This book made me angry. It made me happy. It gave me hope. And like I said, it gives me things that I still think about on a daily basis. I never ate tuna to begin with. I've always hated tuna. But now I'm like, tuna, man. Not the actual animal, but the industry. If you want to know what this little divider is, it's a little CD divider. I don't know where I got it, but bad company. The reason that it is dividing right there is because this is the end of just my nonfiction section, and now we're getting into my classics. The rest of this shelf are my classics. These right here are the start of my Shakespeare collection, but nowhere near the end of it. We got this little guy right here. I've had him for forever. He's just a little guy. He's just a little guy in a hat. We love him. We have Richard III. Excuse me? I heard a noise. Are you sassing me? The Tempest. A Midsummer Night's Dream. Twelfth Night. My Beloved, My Detested. Hamlet. Hamlet is probably my favorite Shakespeare play that I've read several times besides Titus Andronicus. Macbeth, Hamlet, Titus Andronicus. What does that say about me? I don't know. Who's to say? Things Fall Apart. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, which this is a copy that I've had since, like, middle school. I got it at a book fair. A Christmas Carol. Euripides, Tim plays. Who is in my way? Who is going to face my wrath? And then we got this little guy right here. I don't know if you saw him. This is my racing crow. He is a crow that has wheels. So, he's my little tech deck. Excuse me, on my way to steal your girl. My Hemingway collection is something I'm very proud of because I'm collecting all the old Scribner classic paperback covers, and I've been so lucky to like find these at thrift stores, which it amazes me. A Farewell to Arms, The Old Man and the Sea, The Snows of Kilimanjaro, and Other Stories. See, there's the sticker for $5, but I got it at Hunt's Thrift, so it was actually $1. I believe that's where I got this one at. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. The Sun Also Rises, Les Miserables, Brave New World, A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man, Great Tales and Poems of Edgar Allan Poe, and I forgot to do it again. I've read all the Shakespeare, obviously. I've read Things Fall Apart. I probably need to reread it, though. I've read The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I don't think I've read A Christmas Carol. I haven't read The 10 Plays. I've read all the Hemingway. Haven't read this. I've read this. I've read this. Haven't read this. And Catcher in the Rye. This is an older copy. I need to actually hold it up to the camera, don't I, Chey? I've read this. What year is this published? 1991. So, not that old, but it's got a very vintage look to it, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like... I mean, look at it compared to Hemingway's, which came out in the 70s. Like, I don't know. I guess people just take different care of their books. Whatever. I like the fact that Catcher in the Rye is a little beat up. Main character should have been a little more scary stories to tell in the dark. Yes, I put that in my classic section. You want to fight me about it? This one's for Tiffany from The Lair, specifically, and any of my other frenzies that like Frankenstein. The Three Theban Plays, Antigone, Oedipus, and Oedipus at Colonus. I speak Greek. Tales of Mystery and Terror. This is just a great illustrated classics edition of Edgar Allan Poe stuff. Which is your left eye? I don't know. Come over here and find out, you coward. The Hounds of the Baskervilles. Then I have my copy of Mice and Men just sitting here because it's pretty. It looks nice. There you go. This is a copy from the 70s, so it's pretty cool too. Wuthering Heights, and this is also one that I got from the same thrift store that I got the Hemingways at. So that place is a great place to find beautiful, beautiful covers of classics. I didn't even really love Wuthering Heights that much, but this cover is too good to resist. Shout out to Jan and all of my fellow vampies. Dracula. Again, pretty sure I got this one from the same thrift store. Oh, hey, and that Wuthering Heights is by Tor. Huh. Vanity Fair. My second, I need to reread this to make sure, but this is my second favorite classic behind The Three Musketeers, and The Three Musketeers is my favorite book of all time. A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. And then we have my Vonnegut. If you don't know, I did a little project where I read all of Vonnegut's bibliography in chronological order, and I do not own all of them physically yet. Also, I'm very mad because I got the Slaughterhouse 5 edition by Dell Press instead of Dial Press. And so now, this one is shorter than all the others. But I also have them in publication order, or at least the ones I have them in chronological order for the ones that I have. So starting off, Player Piano, and if you look through, can you tell that I had a time? Can you tell? I need to go through and put tabs in it. I just haven't yet. I also love the feel of those pages' texture. The Sirens of Titan. Same thing with this one. Can you tell? You can tell that I had a grand time. Let's pick one of my tabs and read it, shall we? My pink tab means it's a line that I loved, so. Oh, I don't want to read that. That's dark. We'll read this one. I do not recall the old days, said Beatrice, when I was mistress of this estate, when I could not stand to do anything or to have anything done to me. But I loved myself the instant you told me I'd been that way. The human race is a scummy thing, and so is Earth, and so are you. Amen, sister. Preach, girl. Turtles again. Yeah, part of the reason that I've been annotating Vonnegut so heavily is because Vonnegut made me understand the madness of my favorite professor from Georgetown. My favorite professor from Georgetown, I won't be naming names, but if he ever sees this, he knows who he is. Listen, he's got a love-hate relationship with Philip Roth, and I personally think that there is something traumatic in his background, like, that started this beef with Philip Roth, but he is, like, a huge scholar of Philip Roth, going through annotating his books, very metafiction and all that. I respected it, but I didn't get it until I started reading Kurt Vonnegut and started finding my own, like, themes and connections and stuff like that. I think I even texted him once, and I was like, I get the madness now. I get it. Cat's Cradle. This is one that I got relatively recently, and I read it as an ebook, so I haven't annotated and marked this one up yet, but I need to. Mother Night, Slaughterhouse 5, and this is when I actually started annotating the way that I do, like, to this day, where I just have, like, the aesthetic tabs. Galapagos. This is also one that I got relatively recently, so I have not gone through and transferred my annotations yet. And lastly, we have the Time Machine. Look at that funky little guy. Alright, kiddos, the last bottom shelf is where I'm currently keeping my video games and gamer girl material, because we don't yet have a TV stand in the living room, at least not a corner TV stand to put my gaming systems and stuff, so it's all living here right now. I am not pulling every single one of those individually out to show you. I'm not gonna do it. But I will show it to you. Okay, here we go. Starting off, we have Animal Crossing Wild World, original Nintendo DS, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team, this funky little guy. We got all my PlayStation games, so A Bug's Life, Hot Wheels Turbo Racing, Bratz, Toon Twister, which got me into video editing, Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, the first ever game that I remember ever playing on PS1, SpongeBob SquarePants, Super Sponge, Driver, and I think these are a bunch of my McDonald's Lizzie McGuire games, Disney Presents Tigger's Honey Hunt. Then we got my Nintendo games. Not all, by the way, these are not all of my games. These are just a lot of my games. Pokemon Ranger, Shadows of Almia, Cars, Drawn to Life, Indiana Jones, and the original Adventures, Lego Indiana Jones. This is one of my favorite Nintendo DS games. I'm obsessed with it. Nintendo Dogs, Dachshund and Friends, one of the first ever Nintendo games I got. Mario Kart, Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, and then a bunch of other PC random games. Ezio, my beloved. What y'all know about Jumpstart Preschool? And what y'all youngins know about this? We got SpongeBob sitting beside SpongeBob Employee of the Month. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Then we got more back here. So we got Nintendogs, Lab and Friends. We got Dora the Explorer, Animal Adventure, Style Savvy. Then one of my favorite PC games is down here. Disney, that's not it. Disney The Lion King Storybook, and then other various stuff. Some of my Wii games. This is my favorite Game Boy game of all time. Teen Titans. Come here, Sponge. We got some glitter. We got a dino. Just Dance 2, Guitar Hero World Tour, Disney Sing It, My Sims Party, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Sims 2, Sims 4, Sims 3, University Life, Sims 4, Dragon Valley, NHRA Drag Racing, Hurdy-Gurdy, best game ever, Medal of Honor Rising Sun, Medal of Honor Frontline, Professional Drag Racing 2005, Max Payne, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. I can read. I was getting ahead of myself trying to look at the others. Then, another one of my favorite Nintendo games of all time, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team. If you've ever wondered what the beginning music is at the beginning of my videos, it's from this game. This game has the best soundtrack of all time. Do not come at me. Besides Nier. Nier has the best soundtrack. But in terms of Nintendo games, this has the best. Well, Breath of Fire 2 is also really good. But this is probably my favorite. It makes me most nostalgic. I use a lot of this music in my videos. So if you're wondering where that music's from, it's from this game. Tony Hawk's Project 8, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, SOCOM 3, U.S. Navy SEALs, SOCOM 2, U.S. Navy SEALs, SOCOM, U.S. Navy SEALs, The Blazing Ninja. I don't know where this came from. I think it came from my uncle. The Fellowship of the Ring, Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, Naruto Ultimate Ninja 2, Naruto Ultimate Ninja, and then Mace Griffin, Bounty Hunter. And this little guy is a 3D printed guy who was the mascot of a group I was involved in college called The Hilltop Show. He's a bulldog with a microphone. His name is... Was he named Jack, like our mascot? Anyway, he's just a little guy. I hate this angle because I feel like at any second someone's going to walk up behind me, and that's on being traumatized by Michael Myers watching the 1978 version of Halloween when I was 5 years old. The shelf that you're about to see is the overflow for my big books that will not fit anywhere else, because I like big books and I cannot lie. They're too tall. They're too tall for the bottom two shelves. So it's a mixture of nonfiction, fiction, just anything that won't fit anywhere else has overflown to this shelf. That's not the reason I need to talk to you. So I'm about to out myself really, really hard as a reader of BL and webtoons on this shelf. And I tell you not to judge me, but you're going to do it anyway. I don't care. I want to give you a minute to digest what you're about to see, and withhold your judgments, or make them. Do I care? No. But also, don't give me crap about it. Just live your life. My favorite couples are my favorite couples for reasons. They may not be actual good examples of a healthy relationship. Doesn't mean I don't like them as a character. Couple characters. As a couple of characters, as a couple of dudes. Don't talk about my Jinx shrine that's happening here. That's mainly what I wanted to get across. We're not going to talk about my Jinx shrine. Alright? We're not going to discuss it. It is what it is, and I'm going to show it to you. But we're not going to talk about it. Not in depth. Very first thing. Bobby! Jinx photo cards, because I love them. This is the Looking Glass Wars. Look at that. Look at that. This is like an alternate universe kind of Alice in Oh, her name's also in there! This is like an Alice in Wonderland retelling. I absolutely adore it. And the paperback copy is actually up here too. So, and this is the other one, Arch Enemy. I believe it's a trilogy, but it's just part of the Looking Glass Wars series. My second leatherbound copy of The Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide. This has all 5 complete novels and 1 story surrounding the whole Hitchhiker's Guide universe. I have a bunch of guitar picks right here because I work in music and I never know when I'm going to need one, and I also just find them everywhere. My girl from Hamtaro. Bobby from Supernatural. We have my Pride and Joys up here. My Vladimir Todd series, which y'all know about Vladimir Todd. Vladimir Todd shaped me. 8th grade Bites. 9th grade Slays. Can you tell these are my childhood editions? 10th grade Bleeds. 11th grade Burns, where the Vampire Dorian set the standard for me. Thank you very much. My special autograph copy of 12th grade Kills. Goofy from Mickey's House of Mouse. Game of Thrones. A Storm of Swords. A Clash of Kings. Here's where we're gonna get into the depths. Okay. Alright, let's just dive into it. Art print. Jinx. Oh, he's back here too. Jew's back here. Just a little acrylic stand of them. A little acrylic standee of Painter of the Night. If you can't tell, it fell and broke, and because I'm an audio engineer, I fixed it with gaff tape. Ripper. Theft of Swords. Enchanty. Enchante. My beautiful Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of King of Scars, which I still have not gotten around to, and no, I don't want to talk about it. The only reason is because Nikolai has always been my favorite character from Shadow and Bone, and I don't want to cry. That's as simple as that. I don't want to cry. Also, I'm gonna admit it, I don't want to read about him having a love interest, because I'm like, he's mine. He's mine! Middle School Chey has strong opinions on her fictional men. The Bodyguard. Now I gotta put all this crap back up here. No! Alright, fine. I'll fix it later. Fix it in post. Random 21 Pilots bracelet. This is where I have all my cards. Like my trading cards of various things. So I got my Jinx trading cards, and photo cards, trading cards, whatever you want to call them, of various franchises of various things. And I also have stickers, but they just hold up my books here, so I'm not going to go through all those. Ernest Hemingway, A Movable Feast. This edition is very, very special to me because I got it in Paris. I got it at Shakespeare and Company, which they have like a little whole special edition cover with him at Shakespeare Company because him and Sylvia, the owner, were friends. See? So I love it. Always look on the bright side of life. I believe this is my copy that was gifted from my bestie, Julia. I believe this one's from Julia. Maybe it isn't. Maybe I bought this one. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. Here's another one of my Nicholas Flamel ones, The Enchantress. Why aren't you down there? Will you not fit? You will fit. What are you doing up there? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. This is the start of my overall fiction shelf. So this shelf and the bottom shelf are just fiction of all kinds. Romance, mystery, fantasy, all of it, it's all here. Shipbreaker. I'm not going to pull all these out, but I will show them to you. I hide my extra copies behind here. So I have the movie covers of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and then I have Safik. This is an extra copy. And then I have the ugly covers of the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I hate them, so they're sequestered back there. I had them originally just until I could get the original copies that I love, because I hate these freaking covers when they changed them. So they're hidden back there from sight. Here are the good covers that I have. Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and then the last one I have yet to get, Ruin and Rising. Because all copies of the original are like over $100, or they're only sold in a trilogy, which is like $500. Too Hot to Handle, Too Wild to Tame, Jaws, Indiana Jones and the White Witch, The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I do actually own this entire series, but I haven't yet read all of them, so I tried not to put... These are all books that I've read, by the way. If Chey could remember to say that, that would be awesome. These are all books that I've read. So, while I have the other ones, I haven't yet read them, so they're not going on the shelf yet. The Hunger Games. Again, an OG copy. My favorite childhood series of all time. Hank the Cowdog. If y'all don't know about Hank the Cowdog, y'all need to know about Hank the Cowdog. So, the original adventures of Hank the Cowdog. The Case of the One-Eyed Killer Stud Horse. The Case of the Mysterious Voice. You may have heard me talk about my dog Hank at home, who is coming to live with me soon. It's just that I don't have the facilities in my backyard yet. I have a lot of property, and I want to fix a place for him to be able to run freely and not just be on a leash, so I'm trying to get fences and stuff built, that way he can have a little play area. Anyway, have not yet brought him here, but if you've heard me talk about my dog Hank, this is where he got his name, because I always wanted a Hank the Cowdog. It's where my sense of humor really took its course, I think. Something that lives rent-free in my mind is one book where Hank supposedly dies. Like, something dramatic happens, and he's like, and then I died. And then the next chapter was one line, and it was like, I told you I'm dead, why are you still reading? And then the next page was another chapter, and he was like, seriously, get out of here. And then the other one, like that. Oh, it's so good. Maybe I should just do a video where I read that entire series. I don't know how to pronounce these, but what does this have a name for this duology? But Incarceron and Carceron and Safik, The Love Hypothesis. Oh, there's more back here. I say as I just forget that things exist. We have Beautiful Chaos, which is a Doctor Who novel. Another copy of The Necromancer. This one's just a paperback. Stephen King, The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. Name of the Wind, my original, very beat-up paperback copy. What else is back here? Come here, you coward. Is this Wise Man's Fear? What is this? Yeah. The Wise Man's Fear. Sorry, I almost attacked you with it. Excuse me, Hank. Excuse me, Hank. Get off there, Hank. I once wrote an email to the author, Erickson. His name's John Erickson? What's his name? Yeah, John Erickson. I once wrote an email to him after I graduated from high school, like, when I was in college, just, like, thanking him, you know, for making my childhood, and, you know, all that kind of stuff, and he wrote me back, and was like, I'm so glad to hear all that, and then he was like, you know, saying really nice things, and then at the end, he said something I'll never forget, which is like, don't screw up, I helped raise you. And that sums up the sense of humor. I love it. Not in Love, Loath to Love You, The Gamage Cup, Hamnet, Hope Nothing's Hiding in My Closet to Eat Me, Stephen King, Christine, From a Buick 8, with this really cool little front reveal cover moment. Hello? Are you the thing coming to eat me? Please don't. 13 Ghost, My Roommate is a Vampire, a book I did not expect to love as much as I did, but I absolutely adored this little book. I read it as a loan from my library, and then I immediately went and bought a physical copy, because I love this little thing. Radio Silence, Dead is Just a Rumor, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Speaking of that professor, come back to haunt me, I Married a Communist, Philip Roth. Can you tell that I annotated it for class? Look at how dedicated I was. Look at how dedicated. I actually came back to sit in on a class after I graduated because my friend was in the graduate program and she was taking one of his classes. So I came to sit in on a class and he was like, the condition is that you have to do the reading, coward. And I picked the day that they were going to be reading an entire book. Indignation, Philip Roth. And I put more work into annotating this than I ever did. I Married a Communist. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Jacques. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I know. But she lives back here, so don't come at me, okay? The Dracula Tape, which Jan, he's calling to you. Done and Dusted, The Hating Game, An Elderly Lady Must Not Be Crossed, You'd Look Better as a Ghost. Thank you to Jan for this recommendation. Indiana Jones and the Eye of the Fates. This is a really cool little choose-your-own-adventure book. It makes me so happy. The Lonely Castle in the Mirror. Montmorency, Thief, Liar, Gentleman. Can you tell that I've had this book since my school days? It was my favorite series in middle school and something that I still think about to this day. And my beloved English teacher from middle school gave me the copy, like, from her classroom. So all my teacher friends that are out there that have classroom libraries, you're doing the Lord's work. Trust me. Inkheart. And then back here, I have another copy of, come here, Ink Spell. I also have Ink Death in the living room. My bad. I forgot to show y'all Timmy. He fell down. He usually sits somewhere around here. He's my little reading buddy. We have what is the duology called? I don't know what the duology is called, but we have The Keeper of Night and The Empress of Time, which is a duology by Kylie Lee Baker. The Slayer Chronicles, First Kill. The 12th Night, and this is a special edition. Look at this. Isn't this one of the most gorgeous things you've ever seen in your life? Look at that. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. Look at that. It's just stunning. My Best Friend's Exorcism. Oh, I left a bookmark in here. Get Ye Back. Oh, I think it's because I lent this to my cousin. Stone Blind, and this is an ARC copy, actually. I got this from my local library in, like, the free book section, so I guess someone just turned it in. It's an advanced reader's edition. I liked it. It was good, and this cover's just gorgeous. I Hunt Killers. My original copy of Twilight from, like, 2008, like, the year that it came out. This was a present from my mom for getting my second-degree black belt. And, yep, the date is right here. January 23rd, 2009. That's how old this baby is. I need to reread Twilight, let's be honest. Y'all remember my friend Jack Murphy I was mentioning? This is the book. I was right. Reflexive Fire. This is one of his fiction books. It's really good. Did I say the name? Reflexive Fire. I was born for this. One of my favorite little books, and especially because of the cover design. So here, but then it wraps around. Listen, I'm a sucker, okay? I am a sucker. I'm a sucker for a good music story, good friend story, good friends in music story. The depiction of fandoms in this are amazing, especially music fandoms. Lister has my entire heart. Feed. This is a collection of dark tales, short stories by a local author. Really loved it. If you want a more in-depth review, you can go watch my 28K in 28 days video. Link in above. Shameless self-promo. This is part of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel series, one of my favorite series from back in my younger years, my school years. So we have The Alchemist, we have The Warlock, and we have The Necromancer. I'm not sure what order these go in. I honestly don't know. Oh, it says on the side, book 4. Well, it says this is book 4. I'm pretty sure this is like book 6 or something, though. Or it's book 5. Okay, whatever. Anyway, these are really good. Another series that I need to reread. The Jedi Path and the Book of Sith. These are just really cool little Star Wars fan books that have, like, they have lightsaber techniques and just lore of the entire Star Wars universe. They're just cool, fun little books to have on my shelf. Book 2 of the Dreamer Trilogy, Mr. Impossible. I do not own book 1. All the Crooked Saints. Then we have the Raven Boys, the Raven Cycle. I call it the Raven Boys, but the Raven Cycle. I own every book except for Blue Lily Blue. So we have the Raven Boys, the Dream Thieves, and the Raven King. Library-bound copy of Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. She's kind of beat up. She's been well-loved, but, you know, we love her. A horror movie is not going to want to come out, is she? Horror movie? Horror movie is, like, squeezed in there. Get in there, problem child. Butcher and Blackbird, Little Scratch, Super Fake Love Song, Welcome to Night Vale. Okay, I guess I lied to you. I did film a whole portion up here where is my lever? There it is. Where I went through all of those, but I guess while I'm here, I might as well show you. This is a terrible angle for me. Whatever. We have, oh, it's Madeline. I'm like, I'll get this down later. Look what it is. It's Madeline. This is my copy of Madeline in French that I also got when I was in Paris and got at Shakespeare & Co. Holocaust by Bullets, A Dog's Purpose, The Fall of the Roman Republic. Like I said, a lot of these are books from university, or they're special editions. There's really no in between. Ordinary Men, The Lives of the Caesars. There's no real order to them either. They're just kind of up here on vibes. The Sherlock Holmes Mysteries, The Aztecs, a very short introduction. You're lucky that you're seeing this now because this was a god-awful thing of annotations, and I culled them as I lay dying. Simultaneously, some of the best writing and worst writing I've ever read in my life. Hemingway was right. The Conquest of Gaul. Avengers of the New World. This was probably one of my favorite academic books that I read in university. Poems of the Elder Edda. The Sagas of Icelanders, which, if you haven't picked this guy up, if you haven't read him, Vikings class, one of my favorite classes from Georgetown. One of my favorite books, so much so that I bought it after renting it from Barnes & Noble, the student crap. Also, shout out to Starry, my Icelandic buddy from Blackbird. Les trois mousquetaires? Let's not talk about my French. the French edition of the Three Musketeers. This is the one souvenir that I could not leave France without. Whenever I came to France, you know, it's like, oh, will you try and figure out what souvenirs you want to get while you're over there, you know, books or wine or whatever. I said, I'm not leaving France unless I get a pretty edition of the Three Musketeers, because there are no pretty editions of the Three Musketeers besides like one in English, which is a bunch of BS if you ask me. And so I had to get one while I was in France. I don't care if it's in French. I want to read this in French one day, okay? Shut up. I love it. She's beautiful. She's stunning. And the pages are so buttery soft. Like, shut up. Then we went to another bookstore, me and Julia did, and we found volumes 1 and 2 of The Count of Monte Cristo. I said that in the original filming when I was down there filming it, and I was like, that's a very different prince. It's The Count of Monte Cristo. This is tome 1. Look at that. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? Is that not absolutely stunning? The detail. That's tome 1. Tome 2 is probably my favorite. Look at that. Oh, she's stunning. She's gorgeous. I love them. I love them so much. Then we have the special edition of Beach Read, which I think probably everyone and their mother has seen by now, but it's gorgeous. So they all live together, happily ever after. These live upside down, because I say they do. The UK editions of Name of the Wind and The Wise Man's Fear. The 10th anniversary edition of The Name of the Wind. Papa, his box is beat to hell. Through the Eyes of Leonardo da Vinci. Trigun Maximum Deluxe Edition. This is the reprint omnibus thing that Dark Horse is doing. Volume 1, if I hadn't already said that. I should probably move my stepladder. Give me a second. This shelf is mainly just for knickknacks / big boys, if you can't tell. Not him. Big boys, if you can't tell. I'll probably have somewhere better to display them along with knickknacks. We're working on a whole thing in the back room for me. Oh, wow. I'm doing the hand, Chey. You know, doing the room in the back room of the house. Do you remember that one kid show where, oh god, Ooby, Chey, the ADHD is strong this Saturday morning. We're doing a thing in the back room that's gonna kind of be like my media filming room thing, and so a bunch of this, like the knickknacks and stuff, will be moved to that room whenever that's done, but for now, they live here with the big boys. Stand from Painter of the Night. A little shoe from Washington, D.C. when my cousin and aunt went. I really don't want to drag all these out. I really don't. That is The Amazing Book Is Not on Fire. Then we have Special Ops, a couple magazines. The Hidden World of America's Toughest Warriors. The Daleks, because the Daleks are my favorite. The Daleks are my favorite. We have Yu-Gi-Oh! The Destiny Board Traveler game guide, because I love Yu-Gi-Oh! We have Doctor Who, The Secret Lives of Monsters, which is just like a monster encyclopedia. The World of Vikings. Can I pull this one out? Nope, they're all too tall. Leonardo da Vinci, Cobain Unseen. These are like kind of like coffee table books, or more just big informational books. That's probably obvious. The Jim Morrison Scrapbook. Hamilton the Revolution. This is an art book by a guy I saw at a Renaissance fair years ago called Ed Beard. I'll put up a picture of this if I can find one. Then I have one of my prized possessions, Monty Python's Flying Circus, just the words, like these are the scripts from the Monty Python Flying Circus TV show. Pokemon, the Deluxe Essential Handbook. I've owned this since middle school, got it at a book fair. Swamp Thing, Twin Branches. Yu-Gi-Oh! The Official Handbook. The Art of Watch Dogs. This is exactly what it says it is. It's an art book from Watch Dogs, because when Watch Dogs was first coming out, I pre-ordered the game, so I got a really cool, my Aiden figure. I got like an Aiden bust figure, and he is in the kitchen in my glass cabinet, but it came with like a little stand, a little figure, the art book, a bunch of little cool merch, so I love it. One of my prized possessions. I love Watch Dogs. Leonardo's Notebook. Then I have, get over here. Then I have just a Beatles puzzle, which I found at a yard sale. It's pretty cool. I have Donald Duck from Mickey's House of Mouse. Ezio's Hidden Blade from Assassin's Creed 2. And I gotta move you over. Because I gotta move over too. Move over! Red Rover. Let Stacy come over. Stacy's mom has got it going on. Tigress, my ultimate favorite. Fun fact, Chey did a katana demonstration at the local premiere of Kung Fu Panda in our area. I am classically katana trained, so. Gabriel is the best supernatural character. I will take I'll take no criticisms at this time. And yes, that is Gabriel. No, I won't hear any criticisms about that either. Castiel. Yeah, this is my one-winged Castiel. I have two. My little dragon Hourglass. He's just a little guy. He's just a little guy. I heard a noise. I was like, what is that noise? It's the Hourglass, you idiot. Castiel. Dean, my beloved. And Sam. Painter of the Night, acrylic stand. This Yu-Gi-Oh! Play pyramid that I don't even remember where I got it from, but I've had it since I was a child. So you can just, like, turn the images and mix and match, but yeah. Cool little guy. Cool little guy. 10. We got good old Bucky Barnes. Another Painter of the Night acrylic stand. Yes, I have a problem. No, I don't want to talk about it. This dragon car seat cup holder that I've had since I was a child. A playbill for Moulin Rouge, which Julia got me. She got me a whole, but when we didn't see each other for like 2 years after graduation because of the pandemic and everything, next time she saw me, she brought like a bunch of little trinkets from her travels for me, and this is one of them. She's so freaking thoughtful. Julia, I love you so much. It's safe up here with all of my relics. This Jump magazine from June of 2010, which I got at a local used game shop. Y'all, it's got One Piece, it's got Naruto chapters in here, but my main thing, y'all know, well, when I saw Ichigo and then I saw Naruto, I saw my boy Kakashi, but the main thing, look, there he is. It's my boy. Y'all know I had to do it. So he lives here now. Radio Silence, a selected visual history of American hardcore music. My Nier art book. Nier is my favorite game of all time, so of course I have everything related to it. Preacher, book 2. Okay, my friend Alex, who is a very talented artist, who I will also link in the description down below, she does all kinds of cosplay, all kinds of visual art. She's amazing, and she's just an amazing human being. She gave me an amazing, was this birthday or Christmas? She gave me an amazing present. I don't remember if it was birthday or Christmas or just a gift, but I got this in the mail, and I didn't know what to do with myself. That's not it. The scream that I scrumped, okay? just made my inner child happy, okay? I love it so much. Book 3, Preacher. Book 4, Preacher. Book 5, Preacher. And book 6, Preacher. Fun fact, if you didn't know, my dog Cassie, if you are from my other channel and you've heard me talk about Cassidy before, my dog Cassidy was partially named after Cassidy from Preacher and Castiel and the George Ezra song Cassio. That's where she got her name from. And not just Preacher, not just Cassidy in the volumes, I mean like Cassidy from the Preacher TV show, that Cassidy. Welcome to my manga shelf. Yeah, we're gonna start here because that's gonna take a minute. This is my manga shelf, currently. Wow, Chey, can we back out of the shot? I'm so good at this YouTube thing. Currently, my manga shelves, they are double stacked. I hope that when this shelf empties out, like I said about the knickknacks, that this will also turn into a manga shelf of sorts. I am not gonna pull out each of these series from the back and show you. I'm just not, because it's a pain in my rear end. I will take the camera off the tripod and give you a closer look. And I'm not going to take out the front either, because you can see it. You can see it. Listen, would you want to take every single book out of the shelf? No, you probably wouldn't. But let's start over here. Fullmetal Alchemist. I have the, what are these called? Like the hardback editions? I can move you closer at least. Oh, hi. I have Fullmetal Alchemist, the little hardback edition. Just volume 1. Then I have volumes 1 through 4. I have an acrylic standee of Payback. Another one of my little favorite BLs. No, I don't want to talk about it. I have Blue Exorcist, volumes 1 through 5. Jujutsu Kaisen, volumes 0 through 6. I have a little Itachi up here. If he wants to cooperate, he does not. When does he ever? But I got a little Itachi. He is also a little dude, a little menace to society. And of course, I got my little mini Jujutsu Kaisen figures on top of Jujutsu Kaisen. These were 2 little blind bag figures, I believe. They're cute. They're cute, and they fit perfectly on top of the volumes. One of my favorite series, Die Dark, volumes 1 through 7. Here I come. Her Majesty's Dog, volumes 1 through 11, the entire series. And I don't have any standees. I'm planning on learning how to make my own. I don't have any standees of these characters, one of my favorite series of all time. But it does have to do with a demon dog and this girl who, the demon dog is her guardian. So, who do I have on top? Figures of Inuyasha and Kikyo. It's fitting, right? It's fitting, right? Demon dog boy? Girl? Because priestess, and also technically the main girl of this is almost kind of like a priestess. Obey Me, volumes 1 through 3, the entire series as we know it right now. Then we have a print of my problematic fave from Jinx. And putting his foot on top of him to hold him in place is a little figure of Ceci. Ceci, my boy. Ceci, my dude. I think he's supposed to be like a table topper or like a ramen stopper or something, but he just sits on my shelf, causing problems. And they are covering up Given volumes 1 through 6. And then I have Sakura Taisen volumes 1 through 4. Dangerous Convenience Store volumes 1 through 3. Cowboy Bebop volume 1. Goodbye Irie. Skullface Bookseller Honda-san volume 2. I do have volumes 1, 2, and 3, but the others are at my parents' house. Cowboy Bebop volume 3. The Legend of Zelda, the Minish Cap, Volume 1. This is the first one, right? Or is it only one of its kind? Whatever. There it is. Rave Master, Volume 1. This is the first ever manga series besides Sakura Taisen I remember reading at my library, my local library, so I had to get my own copy. Vampire Knight, Volumes 3 through 4. 3 through 4. Should have said 3 and 4, Chey. Now let's go over the back row. Here I go again on my own. Going down the only road I've ever known. Like a drifter, I was born to book alone. No! This is why you're no longer part of the clan. Killing Stalking, 1 through 8. Vagabond, 1. Spring and Deluxe Edition, Volume 1. Levius EST, Volumes 1 and 2. Inuyasha, Volumes 1 and 2. Seraph of the End, Volume 1, Yu-Gi-Oh! 3-in-1 editions, Volumes 1 through 3, and then 4 through 6, and Yasha and Kikyo. The entire series of Dorohedoro, the same author as Die Dark. Kaiju number 8, Volume 1, Getter Robo Devolution, then The Boxer, Volume 1, Solo Leveling, Volume 1, Bungo Stray Dogs, Volume 1, Nightmare, After School Nightmare, Volumes 11, something? I'm debating whether or not to even show you this shelf because it's part of my bookshelf, but there's no books there. It's just, it's my hyperfixation shelf. I have been hyperfixated on the game Obey Me since college, so for a very long time. And I've collected a lot of acrylic stands of it. This is nowhere near my entire collection. These are just the ones that I have on display. I'm debating about whether or not to out myself to you. You know what? Screw it. We're gonna do it. So this is my collection of, little demon guys and various other things. I guess let's start on the bottom shelf, or the bottom part of the shelf. So right here, this is a little plate doctor guy that Alex, I believe it was Alex, sent to me. She found from a local artist. I have the business card somewhere, and I will post it if I can find it in a reasonable time frame. A little dark magician figure that I got from a blind bag. Tai Lung doing a breakdance. Inuyasha figure, because I'm forgetting her name. Decapitated Donald Duck. The 3-ring hat guys from Yu-Gi-Oh! I've also had this since I was a child. A Levi stand, which I got as a freebie from a Mercari order. Beartooth keychain that I got from a VIP event, I believe. Mammon with the credit card. That is from the credits of the anime. Mammon with a shotgun, because I saw this and I said, first of all, why did they give that idiot a shotgun? Also, this takes place in Japan where like guns aren't a thing. Why does he have a shotgun? Like, why does he have a rifle? Why does he have this? Who let him have this? He is my favorite from Obey Me, and he's also an idiot. He is. He's my lovable idiot. Anyone who, like, the fandoms refer to anyone who likes him as being moron sexual. And yeah. So why did they give him that? I do not know, but I had to have it. Then over here, we got a Leonardo da Vinci print I got from a Ren Fair many years ago. And then we have the pirate outfit editions of Lucifer. These are my 3 faves from the game, by the way. You're going to see a lot of them. We got Lucifer, we got Satan back there, and then Mammon. And then this little Beale birthday print that I got as a freebie. Then these Mammon glasses that one of the sellers I buy from a lot sent me. See? It's just glasses. It's pretty cool. And then I have this book that I got for free from the library called Bad Boys Ahoy. It's pirate smut. So, yeah. Alright, let's go back to my prized possessions. This was a special edition acrylic stand of Lucifer version Angel, and then Angel version of Mammon. They are gigantic. Possibly my second favorite completed outfit collection I have is from the TSL event in-game. So we have Lucifer, Mammon, Levi, Satan, Asmo, Beal, and Belfie. And then we have tiny little school uniform Asmo down here next to Big Asmo. Don't ever talk to me or my son ever again. And the part of my collection I am most proud of, my favorite outfits from any event in the game ever, were the 2019, 2020 Halloween edition outfits. Maybe it was 2021. But the Halloween outfits are just so sick, and I have the completed collection of all the brothers. So we got Lucifer, Mammon, Levi, Satan, Asmo, Belfie, and Beal. I mean, just look at them. Aren't they sick? They're so freaking sick. And back here we have Yokai Mammon. We got, this was some kind of special collaboration they did for Mammon. And then Yokai Levi, tiny little Angel Belfie. Then some aquarium collaboration that they did, and I got the Beal and Belfie versions of that. Tiny School Belfie, don't ever talk to me or my son ever again. Don't ever talk to me or my son ever again. Then we got Owl Barbatos. This one's very special to me because that is the outfit from the first ever event I played when I started playing the game. And goes for same with Bear Beal. Then we got the event of the Three Worlds Barbatos, regular Human World Clothes Beal, and Summer Edition Mammon. And yeah, now you know my hyperfixation. Cool. Okay, fam, listen, if you've seen my 10k in 10 days video or my 28k in 28 days video, you'll know these are my TBR shelves. I'm gonna take every single one of these books off to show you because it's at my height. So I really have no excuse beyond just being lazy. But considering that I was lazy with the other shelves, I'm going to do this for you. They also need to be kind of rearranged anyway. There are some books scattered around the other shelves that I have not read yet, but this is like the main coagulation. I don't know. I guess let's go over the decor down here. I have it, it's usually neater than this, but because I know it's going to be taking this stuff off, I was like, I'm not going to rearrange it until after I'm done. So we have Jesse from Preacher. We have this piston Chevrolet koozie that he used to sit in. Jesse! I'm surprised your cigarette hasn't snapped off like my other Jesse. Oh, I actually have Cassidy over there too. Little Pokemon trading coin from the Sinnoh region. I think I got this from a McDonald's meal or something back in the day. Music Valley Archive, one of the best small businesses in Nashville. You should look them up. Wear cool stuff. Save Nashville Soul. Not sponsored. I just really love Tom and Han. They're amazing. My little Chimchar that, again, I think I got from McDonald's or something. Burger King. This came from Burger King. So that little coin probably came from Burger King too. And I just use it to keep some Pokemon cards in, like my fire ones. So, little Kakashi with a book sticker because we love Kakashi in this household. A bobby pin because I am a theater kid. Oh! Music Valley Archive tag just because I think that their tag design is really cool. See, there's your little hotline and their website and stuff. I love them so much. Roadrunner, because Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner are some of my favorite cartoon characters, and also, it's a reminder, what is on your neck? Oh, it's just lint. It's a reminder to me to hurry up and roadrun these books, to speed run them. I know, I'm just like, grabbing him by the neck. Rat shaker, right? This is not gonna be fun for me. I'm gonna start with the books on the bottom shelf first, but I'm gonna keep the camera up here to save my back. Oh, this was a bad decision. The Alexander Hamilton biography that needs no introduction. These Violent Delights. Magnifico. I told you what my hyperfixations in history were. You're about to see them manifest. Goodnight, L.A. The Rise and Fall of Classic Rock, the untold story from inside the legendary recording studios. Audio engineer, I think I'm legally obligated to read that. Chaos, the art and aesthetics of hip-hop. Did I say chaos or total chaos? Total chaos. I have the first book up here, The Poppy War, but since I'm going to read The Poppy War first, these are typically the books that I reach for first on my TBR, and then these are more of my nonfiction, so I reach for them less, or just less often. So I keep the rest of series, when there's whole series that need to be on my TBR, I typically keep the earlier volumes up here, and then the later books down here, just because I'll reach for them later. Not always, that's not a golden rule, as you'll see, but that is to say, The Poppy War is up here. Then we have The Dragon Republic and The Burning God. One fact I'll never stop spouting is that R. Kwong and I both went to Georgetown. The Assassin's Blade, which I've had for many years. No, you cannot buy it from me. Book 5 of the Johannes Cabal series, The Fall of the House of Cabal, which this is going to rip my heart out when I read it. I know it is, because every book in this series so far has been a 5-star for me, as you'll see when we get to my favorite shelf. So I'm not ready for this. So she's been sequestered. Get a Life, Chloe Brown. To Kill a Mockingbird. Good Booty. Love and Sex, Black and White, Body and Soul in American Music. This is gonna be awful. You're really crammed in there, that's what she said. The Goldfinch. Sick Enough. The Monuments Men. The Mythology of Supernatural. The Signs and Symbols Behind the Popular TV Show, which I've had for many years. Are you seeing a running theme? Passion is a Fashion, The Real Story of the Clash. The Nazis Next Door. 1775, A Good Year for Revolution. 1776. The Perils of Peace, America's Struggle for Survival After Yorktown. The World Turned Upside Down. American Crisis, George Washington and the Dangerous 2 Years After Yorktown. Church of Spies. Hitler's Pope. And that was the easy mode of these shelves. Alright, no time to waste. You have seen the Poppy War. I'm trying to decide if I want to show you these as I'm taking them off. I think that's going to be more expeditious here. But just the way that they're stacked down here made it not so expeditious. Why didn't I do that to begin with? A Streetcar Named Desire. Prince of Fools. And because I'm a stickler, I need to show you the next two in the series. The Liar's Key. The Wheel of... The Wheel of Oshime. Mark Lawrence is going to come for my brand. He's already writing The Crow Daughter, or The Crow something, which when I read that I was like, Mark, please get out of my life. Because I'm the Crow girl, okay? Wait, you're my favorite author and now you're writing something about crows, my dude? Get out of my head, Mark. Thank you. You already own my soul with Jorg. Is that not enough? No, because I have the rest of the series here too. The Girl in the Stars. The Girl on the Mountain. The Girl and the Moon. Red Sister. Grey Sister. Holy Sister. Immortality, a love story. I do own Anatomy, but I own it as an ebook. This was like $4 at a local store, so I'm gonna read it, and if I don't like the first one and I want to unhaul this one, I didn't lose that much on it. $4 for a hardback? Are you kidding me? And I also have heard enough things where I think I'm gonna like it, so it was a risk I was willing to take. Pride and Prejudice, and Too Beautiful to Break. Homegoing. A Closed and Common Orbit. Like I said, I own the whole series, but I put the one that I've already read on the shelves, and this is the next one in the series, so it's the next one on my TBR shelf. The others are in my tote. Hell Followed With Us. Wow, look at the way those eyes glow in that reflection. Hell Followed With Us. The Thing Around Your Neck. Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. Look at this. Oh, Safari Sleuth. Forgot to include that part. A mystery lures Indy into the wild. The Mysteries of Bizarre Animals and Freaks of Nature. It's a book about me. King of Scars, Nikolai My Beloved. The Hunting Wives. We Hunt the Flame. I Promise Jan. I promise I'm going to get to it this year. Silver Under Nightfall. Her Soul for Revenge. The Iliad. King Nix. Blech. And The Power of Aesthetics. I don't want to say his name anymore. It's important to read about it, but puts a literal bad taste in my mouth. Important read, though. I started reading it for a project that I was doing in university for an oral exam I was doing. And very important stuff. I just need to keep reading it. Soul of a Witch. The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. This was sent to me from Destiny, from the Lair. So Destiny, thank you. You're a real one. The Jackal. I know. Should I do a whole J.R. Ward reaction reading vlog? A reaction, because I opened that and I was like, the humor is very self-aware. I don't care if it's cringe. It's not cringe if it's self-aware and you're having a good time. It's not cringe if you're not a coward. Mark that down. It's not cringe if you're not a coward. If you're not hurting others or yourself, then it's only cringe if you're a coward. The Arsonist City. The Sword of Shannara. Shannara. First edition. And it even came with the map. The map is in here somewhere. Or the print. What is it? Yeah, like the print. Yeah, that's right. I own that. Haven't even read it. Come here! Avast! A Day of Fallen Night. The Priory of the Orange Tree. And I'm putting these right back on the shelf. I don't want to talk about how this is unopened. The Six of Crows duology, so it's got Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I don't want to talk about it. Legends and Lattes, the UK edition, because I got this from that one book site just before it shut down, because I think it's prettier than the one with the characters on it. Pack Up the Moon. To Be Taught, If Fortunate. I just needed something to slide in this little divot right there. The Counter Life, Philip Roth. Nothing to See Here. Rise of Empire. Heir of Novron. No, Veron. My bookmark. Avast. The Warded Man. Mistborn. Drunk girls in bathrooms. Now we come to my pride and joy. My favorite shelf. This is... Am I going to pull out every single one of these books? I don't know. We'll see. But here's your overview. This is rapidly changing. Well, that's a lie. It's not rapidly. But it does evolve and change. Because as you can see, I have limited room up there. And yes, I do have all this shelf space to work with. But I try to keep it from overflowing. I feel like it makes me critically think, like whenever I read something new, and if I'm like, oh, it's a favorite, but there's not much room, it makes me go back and look at like, okay, well, was that one really a favorite? And so that way I keep things cycling in and out based on what my current favorites are, if that makes sense. So let's start with the obvious. I got this figure of Inuyasha, my boy, my dude. These are some of the other trinkets that Julia brought me. We got the Widow Pepper, we got the eye, we got the perfume, we got a phone box, just all my little trinkets from friends and their travels. He snuck back here because this, I just put this Painter of the Night acrylic sandy there not long ago. Another one of Julia's little trinkets. This guy. For a second, I paused because I thought I saw a spider crawling on me. That would not have been fun. First things first, if you haven't noticed, this is sort of my Jorg shrine. And no, I don't want to talk about it because there will be a whole vlog coming about this blight on my life. But this is Road Brothers, which is like the side stories of Jorg and the gang. Get out of here, Near. These are my hardback editions of King of Thorns and Emperor of Thorns. Prince of Thorns is over by my bed because I'm rereading and annotating it as we speak. Who is that hiding back there? Ah! Gay! Another Painter of the Night acrylic stand. I actually kind of like that it's hiding back there. That's actually kind of funny. I don't know why it was back there. I think I was rearranging and just forgot to take it out. Anyway, this is my special edition of the entire the special edition of my entire Broken Empire series. It's signed and numbered, as well as comes with illustrations throughout. I love this. And then my original paperback copies of the series are back here. Honestly ruined men for me. Shame on you. Get back there. What are you... Oh. Jorg! He would behead me for that. And there's my paperback copy. Y'all didn't believe me when I said it was a shrine, did you? How many copies do I need? Honestly, more, because I want the UK editions and the broken binding editions of these. But people are selling them for like $300, and I'm broke. So, another copy of The Three Musketeers. You'll see that I have plenty of those. Oh! I scream a lot. Nier Automata, short story long. Francis of the Filth. What y'all know about this? You probably just looked at me very differently if you know what this is, and it was either in a very good way or a very bad way. I'm also going to set y'all down, because I can't take a risk on y'all falling. Figured I'd put you right here, that way you can actually kind of see things as I'm taking them out, instead of just me bullying around the camera. Curse Bunny, Moonlight, A House with Good Bones, Scream for Us, I don't want to talk about it. The Slow Regard of Silent Things, Les Trois Mousquetaires, I'm so sorry, The Three Musketeers, again, Snow. Look at these annotations. This is my copy from my class with the professor that I talked about. That was like my mentor, my influence in college. I read this in his class. And if you've read this book, you know a lot happens, especially to keep track with in an international politics, and fictions class. So what I did, and what he ended up complimenting me on, saying it was genius, which it is I bought this book. This was not a rental. I bought this book. And so to help me remember going through, like, when I had a bunch of classes, as a freshman incoming and having to write all those essays and having to read so much and so much already happening in a book, what I did to help me remember where the scenes are, like things that were important, is I went through and I drew things on the pages where the scenes were. So I got music and a radio. That way when I'm flipping through looking for quotes in my essay, I just see it and I'm like, oh, that's the music scene, or that has to do with the microphone, or whatever. It's fun. The Ghost and Mrs. Muir, A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon, How High We Go in the Dark, Suncatcher, a beautiful little graphic novel, April Blood, Florence and the Plot Against the Medici, Persepolis, and The Arab of the Future, another read from that same class. Yes, Jacques, I still have it. Jacques is not watching this channel. If he was, we'd have issues. He just laughed if he was watching that. So some little things first. A little Inuyasha bookmark that I have. Where's the other half? Yeah, there we go. Little fire, little boat. We got an acrylic standee of Ceci, acrylic standee of Lucifer, reading a book, and my boy Inuyasha. My very old copy of For Whom the Bell Tolls, Between Two Fires, Evie Drake Starts Over, A Movable Feast, which I annotated, but probably need to go back and heavily annotate some more. I read this before I went to Paris, like starting before I went to Paris, and then on the flight to Paris, I finished it. Let me tell you something. Reading this and then going to Paris, like where it's set, and reading that he went to Paris for the first time at like 25, and I was 25 going to Paris for the first time. Wild. Beach Read, my original copy. Oh, I feel like I'm violating her with my fingers there. Beach Read, my original copy. Lucy in the Sky, a very cute graphic novel. Book Lovers. And this is one of the ones that I'm like, compared to some of the favorites that I've read, is this really a favorite anymore? I don't know. I really liked it, but is it a favorite? Not in comparison with Beach Read, I'll tell you that. I know that it's like a controversial opinion for people, but I like Beach Read much more than Book Lovers. Death in Mud Lake, a coal country fight against the drug companies that delivered the opioid epidemic. Darkman, Alexander Hamilton's Guide to Life. Can you tell that I liked this book when I read it? Can you tell? The Horror. Then here's my little shrine to the Johannes Cabal series. As I've said, every book in the series so far has been 5 stars for me, more than 5 stars. They've become all-time favorites very quickly. And I'm going through and I'm slowly going to annotate them. Some I kind of have, but I need to add the tabs and stuff. But for now, they live here. So we have book 1, Johannes Cabal, the Necromancer. Johannes Cabal, the Detective. This is one of the ones that I've kind of gone through and highlighted and underlined. Yeah, kind of, I say, and the whole book is, like, pretty much highlighted. Yeah, I love it. I love the series. Book 3, Johannes Cabal and the Fear Institute. No, I bent the corner. Then these are books that I love, but I honestly kind of like looking at my tabs more. So I turn them inside and out, depending on what I'm feeling. The Flamethrowers, The Imaginary Corpse. You need to read this book. I'm telling you right now, if you like fun and whimsy, you need to read this book. He's a little toy Triceratops detective. Look at how much I love this book. Look. I love this book. No One is Shocked, The Three Musketeers. This is my first ever, like, big edition of The Three Musketeers. The one that I reread and went back and heavily annotated. And I plan on rereading for years to come and adding future annotations to see what I think in the future. If you're curious what these big red tabs are, it's every time D'Artagnan starts a fight. Because if you don't know, if you've never read The Three Musketeers, it's basically D'Artagnan being like, I lost my dad, fight me. And if you don't think that classics can be funny, you need to read The Three Musketeers. The random line that I flipped to, Athos was delighted when he learned he was going to fight an Englishman. We have mentioned that this was his dream. Athos, my beloved. Athos is my favorite character. The Song of Achilles. You've Reached Sam. Thanks, Jan, for recommending that and making me soft. The Martian. And Utopia Avenue. These are all the books that are currently on my favorite shelf. No, you're supposed to go back there. No, you're supposed to go back there. Johannes. There we go. Get back there, you coward. You absolute coward. You coward. You cowardier. Cowardier. Everyone give it up for America's favorite fine Frenchman, Lafayette. Oh! Y'all didn't think we were done, did you? This is my music book shelf. I know, I have music books scattered all across the other shelves, but this is where my turntables and my CDs and stuff are. So, a lot of my music books are here. Rip It Up and Start Again, Post-Punk, 1978 through 1984. This Is Your Brain on Music, The Science of a Human Obsession, 7 Deadly Sins, No One Here Gets Out Alive, The Story of Rock, How the Beatles Destroyed Rock and Roll, An Alternative History of American Popular Music, To Live and Defy in L.A., How Gangsta Rap Changed America, one of my favorite reads of the past few years, Walk This Way, Run DMC, Aerosmith, and the Song That Changed American Music Forever, Read and Riot, Revenge of the She-Punks, The Doors FAQ, The Clash on The Clash, Interviews and Encounters. Sorry, Paul. You didn't think we were done, did you? This is the shelf in my living room, which you've probably seen in the background of some videos, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a more in-depth tour while we're here. My Metal Hammer magazine that's got Noah Sebastian and an interview about Bad Omens. Next to one of my editions of the Concrete Jungle comic. I actually have several of these, but this is just the one that I have out currently. my certificate that says that I'm an audio engineer, but that's not a book, so we're not going to talk about it. This Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Naruto collab comic crossover that Davis Ryder did, which is amazing, and I have my little Beartooth cassette sitting in front of it. My other Metal Hammer magazine with my big bros on the cover came with the special edition autographed print, and I believe it came with the single too, or I just have this single. I don't know. It's hard to keep track of all of my Beartooth merch anymore. Will you stop breaking your neck, please? I have a haunted security camera. Also, it's so weird. The lights are red, but it's showing purple on here. That's crazy. Starting here, we have a Ceci Pop, a Vash Pop, a Descartes Pop, some cool rocks that I found. Then down here, we have Rem Save Rem, Meryl Streif, Nicholas D. Wolfwood, Millie Thompson, Legato Blue Summers, and Knives Millions. I'm actually going to leave you right there while I show you some of these books. This entire thing doesn't really have a theme. The bottom shelf does. These are more of my foreign language books, like books that are in Japanese or French or what have you. This is mostly TBR with a mixture of various things. It's really just kind of a show-off shelf, also just kind of storage. Breaking Dawn, the Agathas, and these three I got for free from the library recently. A Darkness at Sethanon, The Fires of Heaven, Magician Master, Unfinished Tales of, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, and Middle Earth, All My Rage, Dead is the New Black, The Broken Raven, Seven Trees of Stone, Gallant, Islands in the Stream, A Clockwork Orange, The Three Musketeers, Little Flowers Everywhere, Late Bloomer, The Best Way to Bury Your Husband, The Mercies, Reba. And I don't know the names of all these that are not in English off the top of my head, but I do have them on Goodreads, so I will post the name in text. Stop trying to break your own neck, dude! Oh, this is a prized one. Blackjack 9, The Best 14th Stories. The Best 14 Stories, not 14th. But, look at that. I love him so much. It's my dude. Volume 1, The Time of the Dragons. Egghead, The Deadly Sister. Sorceress Stabber. Bleach, the Hellverse, and it even comes with the little fold-out with Ichigo and stuff. Isn't that cool? Beautiful. Blood Lad. Some of these I do know, obviously, because they are things that I've read or I've watched translated into English. And I actually have Obey Me Volume 1 in the original publication, too. I think I actually bought this one first because I thought that this was the English version, and then when it arrived, I was like, oh. Oh well, I own all of them in English now, so it's fine. These books are in English. They're photography books. Bob Dylan, NYC, 1961 through 1964. This was a gift from a person that I did an internship with, and so was this one. This was also a gift from my internship boss. The Rolling Stones, 50 by 20. Just really cool coffee table photography books to go through the history of rock and roll with. I love both of them. Oh, I also have this print back here that I got years ago at a Ren fair, but I should show it off. It is by Aradani Studios. I don't even know if they're still around. If they are, link in description, but pretty cool. Pretty sick. Then I have this French letters book that I found at the thrift store, and I just thought was really cool. This Modern French for Adults, Part 1. You can't really see the golden text, but that's what it says on there. Carmen Sandiego in Spanish. Ow. Legato! Carmen Sandiego in Spanish. Everything's fine, by the way. I know some of you were like, oh, the book's alright. The books are fine. Ink Death, Please Kill Me, which is what that book made me want to say. I'm gonna unhaul that thing. It's supposed to be an oral history of punk, but it's just old people talking crap on each other for no reason. These are my steal finds. This is apparently, I did not know what these were at the time, but I got them for like 25 cents, 75 cents a piece at McKay's because they're not in English, so they were in the foreign language section, and they're art books. They're all art books, but excuse me? They're all art books, and I googled, like, what they were from, like, I reversed image search. Apparently they're from an Otome, like, one of, like, the classic Otome games, and I just, like, they're beautiful, and I'm like, do I need to get sucked into another dating sim, like, to take over my life, hyperfixation? I think so. I think so. I have not yet, but like the art in here is just absolutely stunning. Every single volume. Shut up. Like, gorgeous. I don't even know what number volumes these are or what the titles are, but I can just tell you, like, there's character sketches, there's concept art, there's like little chibi art, fan art. I'm sure there's stuff about the actual story, but apparently there's a whole universe of games and stuff, and I know there's some nerds out there right now who are smarter than me being like, yeah, that's been around forever, where have you been? I don't know. Here's another one. Stunning. But this one is the most beautiful one, because it's got a slip cover on it. Here it is without the slip cover. Stunning. And I got these for a steal. Again, like 75 cents. But are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me, bro? Gorgeous artwork. Even if I never play the game, they're just beautiful to look at. So that is that shelf. And I guess next we will stop procrastinating and I'll go show you my Shakespeare collection. God have mercy on your soul. Before we get to the Shakespeare, though, time for a mini little shelf. This is the chaos shelf, where books that I have no other place for yet have come to languish. But I'll show it to you anyway. So this is a lion that I got from Lviv when I went to Ukraine back in 2019. Just a Catwoman jar full of rocks and coins. A little penguin light-up buddy. A wolf. Cry Havoc. Trinant Canine Warriors. No Worse Enemy. Seal of Honor. There's Furies. Codename Johnny Walker. A reverb unit that I got from Facebook Marketplace for like $10. My first ever laptop. The Federalist Papers. The Assassination of Heydrich. Yall's Goat Boy. And Sex Pistols 90 Days at EMI. I told you this is just chaos right here. So we have an Italian technical dictionary, which smells like formaldehyde. I do not know why. Philip Roth, The Plot Against America. Tales from Shakespeare. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Chronicles of Nick, Infamous. Puss in Boots back there. A little masked bear, a little wolf. Foghorn Leghorn, had to remember his name. We have the J.J. Abrams, the ship, is that the Ship of Theseus? Is that what that book is called? The Last Punisher, Wyatt Earp, Shakespeare and Music, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which is upside down. This is a book I got in Ukraine when I went over there, Viking Myths and Sagas. This is one of my prized little possessions that I got when we went to Ukraine. I picked this up in a thrift store. Either way, it's a cool little souvenir. Yeah, I love it. It's just a beautiful little bind-up edition. Cool little memento. And supported an indie bookstore over there. This is the shelf that I've kind of taken over with knickknacks and my Shakespeare collection in my mom's room at my house. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Some of these are her books. Like, those are her books. This is part of my Shakespeare collection, and then some of my collection is in there, and the rest are her books while we're building her own bookshelf. But for now, this is where mine live. So we've got the regular edition of Macbeth. Sorry, Eeyore, let me move you, buddy. Antony and Cleopatra. Antony and Cleopatra. 4 tragedies. Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, Julius Shakespeare, and Hamlet. What I loved about this edition, besides it being just vintage, is like the coloring on the edge of the pages. It's like this maroon red. It's most vibrant right there, but it's gorgeous. And it's buttery smooth. And there's annotations in it. A little bit. So that's an address of someone I don't want to dox. They probably don't live there anymore, but I still don't want to dox them. King Lear, Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet. Yes, I have 2 of the same copies. Shut your mouth. Titus Andronicus. Hamlet. Julius Caesar. Macbeth. I know a worn-out Shakespeare edition hate to see me coming in a thrift store. 4 great comedies. The Taming of the Shrew, A Midsummer Night's Dream, Twelfth Night, and The Tempest. I find it funny that The Tempest is labeled a comedy. The Merchant of Venice. Coriolanus. A Midsummer Night's Dream. Ow. Now, can I get the rest out from this right here? My shoulder itches. I'll turn you down. Oh, like Jack and Coke. On the radio. Ah, stop! Wordsworth. Not all of these are Shakespeare, like I said. Just most of them. Well, that just broke. It looks like it was broke already, though. Looks like it's been welded. Okay, I feel less bad. I broke the genie lamp! Oh, no! Oh, no! It's already been broke. You can see where it was welded. We didn't break it. Someone did. But now I've let the genie out of his curse. Oh no. Oh no! 10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck. Was there anything on top of that? I don't know. This is why you can't have nice things. I am so sorry, baby lamp. I'm so sorry. Race to Win. World War Moo. I'm skipping over my mom's books in this stack for obvious reasons. Macbeth. King Lear. Othello. Ah! Stop! Why don't you cease? Dante, The Divine Comedy. 1. Hell. We're done. We're finally done. That did not take as long as I expected it to, but I hope you enjoyed it. It was kind of fun going through my shelves, because I've never really done a bookshelf tour. I've done a bookshelf makeover, bookshelf reorganization on my other channel, but I've never done a bookshelf tour before, so this was kind of fun. It's cool to document this moment of time as to what it is right now, and as well as the other shelves around my house, and then maybe in a year or so see how much it's changed. Especially with all the construction projects and stuff that I mentioned that we're doing. So a lot of this will be changed and moved into an entirely different room, and then I'll be able to really, really sort out and go crazy with the organization here. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you had fun being nosy about my bookshelves. I hope that you found some new stuff that you may want to read. I hope that you saw some favorites. If you did see some favorites, put them down in the comments below. Let's talk about them. Or alternatively, if you saw some books on my shelves that I said that I have not yet read, and you'd like me to make a video about, or a certain type of vlog, if you have any vlog ideas that you'd like to see me do, any kind of challenges, any sort of themed reading vlog, let me know about that in the comments too. I'm down for anything. This is just we're just chill vibes here, man. I'm not gonna use the chill guy meme. We're just chill vibes. This is just for goofs and gaffs. Right now though, that's gonna be it for me. No prolonged outro here. I love you. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. Love and peace. Bye! No, I'm not gonna do that to you. Bye!